You notice, I hope you'll appreciate the challenge of my not only talking to you and being aware that there's a recording going on.
And also driving.
And driving, exactly. And trying, not to hit stuff that I'm not supposed to hit, which is essentially everything.
I think as long as you just do that, don't hit anything, that's, pretty good driving.
That's a win.
That's, 90% of driving, if not more.
Yeah.
Episode 3, Livin' the Dream or Racin' the Train. In this episode, your hosts Steve and Mal hurtle from point A to point B while pondering lifetime dreams, time pressure, and good or bad driving habits. Strap in for the ride to Redacted. Please be advised there are occasional cuss words in these episodes, so now you know.
Do they stress that in driver ed?
They do a little bit. Honestly, in driver's ed, from what I remember, we just watched those videos that were hell on the highway. And it's about road rage where don't provoke other drivers because sometimes they're a priest with what's that weapon called? A crossbow.
A katana.
No, a crossbow in their trunk. And it was a real thing, apparently. This guy got so angry, he was a priest, and he took a fucking crossbow out of the trunk of his car and, shot somebody. They got out of the car to, argue or whatever. He just shot them. Which is an insane thing to tell high schoolers as, a likely thing that might happen.
Well... Yeah, I guess.
But also there was a video that was don't race trains, don't try and cross a train crossing if it says that a train is coming. You think you're going to be faster, you're not.
You wouldn't think it would be necessary to tell even a newbie driver don't try to race a train where there's a possibility that it could slam into you.
Yes.
You wouldn't think you would need to cover that.
No.
So I want to chime in with the ostensible assigned or prefab theme for this drive, which feel free to depart from immediately as we may. Is dreams, both your dream of a lifetime and or actual dreams. And I'll just throw in randomly one more thing about dreams. So in my new office space, the suite that I'm sharing, one guy the other day, just, exchanging hellos. I was like, how's it going? And he says to me, living the dream. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciated that. Mm-hmm. So dreams. So that's what we're supposed to, maybe what we'll
Was that what inspired the theme?
No, I don't. Well, maybe.
So
subliminally.
I wanted to ask you, why dreams? Why is that the theme that you settled on?
I just thought that. I think part of my train of thought was I've been thinking as I get close to, wait for it, my 70th birthday. There's absolutely no guarantee that a person is going to live till their 90s. Not to. Should we reveal how we're related at this point, or?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
You're my dad.
I want to know. Yeah, go ahead.
You're my biological father.
Okay.
And I'm your biological bastard.
Okay, not just you bastard. I can't believe you said that, you bastard. Bitch, please.
No, I was born in wedlock, as...
Yeah, so
in the common parlance of our times.
That's a good. Imagine starting random conversations you're buying a pack of gum. By the way,
so are your parents wed? To this very day. How fortunate.
Yes. And by the way, that's an excellent choice of gum.
Yes. By the way, that flavor's been recalled.
Yeah. So back to the
dreams.
the dreams. Okay, so it occurs to one as one nears one's 70th birthday, not to sound British, that if you're going to do the things that what do you dream? And it also came up. I think my mother asked me, "What would your ideal occupation be?" And I was like, writer. I don't know that I really have totally left the dream of filmmaking. And so that's on my mind. I was like, what are your dreams? And I'd like to do something with Henry George. I guess that's why it's on my mind. Like, what are my dreams? And then that put it in my mind to talk about it. Let's broaden it. It's not just about me. It may not even be about me at all. It may completely be about you. So that's where it's coming from.
Something that I ask people sometimes on first dates, which is a good litmus test for if somebody can match my freak. But I'll ask them, what are your hopes and dreams? And sometimes that means for the rest of the evening, like, how do you ideally see this going? But also, like, what are your hopes and dreams more generally? And usually I get, kind of an intimidated response, like, oh God, like, asking the serious questions. Because I don't really do small talk. Like, I will do it because I'm a human and I won't force people to have, like, big conversations when it's, like, a Monday morning, But also, I like more serious conversations. Yeah.
So you ask people, like, what are your hopes and dreams?
Yeah. Which is an open to interpretation question.
Right. I was hoping for a better seltzer, frankly. It's supposed to be flavored. And then
check, please.
Would you be wanting to say? Yeah. Would you be wanting to say? Could you broaden that a little? Could we go?
Can we expand on that?
Yeah.
I want to know more.
Right.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna talk about life aspirations, which we have begun to. I am 28 years old. And so I've started to think about my 30th birthday being around the corner. And there's something that I've been seeing a lot of, which is people have been saying that there's a sort of frantic feeling when you're in your 20s that you have to succeed by the time you're 25 or even 30.
Wow.
Or even 30, or you've failed. There was some post that was like, I have a feeling like being in your 20s feels like if you don't succeed, whatever that means, by the time you're 25, somebody will personally come to your door and kill you. There's such immense pressure to make it, because most of what you see is people's like all-time highs or all-time lows. People in their 30s say that feeling goes away. Yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to that feeling of like I have to make it sort of dying down. I also feel like I'm coming to a place that I'm really proud of in my personal artistic practice. Making pieces that I think are really fun and interesting. Mm-hmm. And in terms of like career, I don't know what I'm doing because it feels like the world is ending. It feels like I'm not very well suited to do anything except for art and, write and teach and whatever.
I'm not surprised to hear you bring up art, because I would have thought that would be part of maybe your dream, because speaking completely objectively and not as your biological or in wedlock dad, you are very talented. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. So that's one thing. Now, maybe that is not even needed or even relevant to the dream of creating art. I think there are plenty of people who are not that talented who have that dream, some of whom even do it. But still, there is that. Also, though, I have those dreams myself, And I mean, it's a little harder to think of making it as an artist, let's say writer and or filmmaker, or even podcaster. At the
You
age
too
of,
can make it as a podcaster.
at the age of 70. But you know, the feeling of time pressure, back to the have to make it by 25.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, like, why could it be an artifact of like social media? Because like the people that you see people who've made it by like 18.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, you know.
Yeah, I think it's 100%
Right.
that. I think it's Forbes 30 under 30. I think it's like all that shit.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that, but okay. Forbes doesn't have a 30 under 70, does it? I heard that.
Well, they do, except they all happen to be 29 or younger. I mean, the thing is, so I have a number of special interests, and I definitely like those things to a degree that you only like those if you have them as your special interest. So, like, you know, are you familiar with this term, special interest?
I mean, not the way you're using it. It sounds
So special interest
yeah.
usually has to do with, like, it's a term that's used by neurodivergent people and by people diagnosing neurodivergent people. So special interest is a topic in which a person has, like, not only, you know, an advanced amount of knowledge, you know, whether that topic is relevant to their life or profession or not, but also makes them happy and excited when they get a chance to talk about it, and can also cause distress when they're not able to talk about it.
okay. Yeah, it sounds like a kind of spectrum-y thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It does tend to be a spectrum-y thing, but it's also, like, can be something for people with ADHD and, like, other neurodivergencies that have some traits like that. So I have special interests. Birds are a special interest, for sure. Also, more generally, animals. Sci-fi literature. Sci-fi literature is, like, a big...
Right.
for me.
I know. And Gothic?
I would
or
say
not
that
so much?
that's comorbid. It's related.
Comorbid. Okay. I feel like there's definitely a relationship between special interests, which thank you for educating me about that, and dreams. Special interests. I mean, they're not necessarily synonymous, like your lifetime dream, living the dream, lifetime dream. Mm-hmm. But living the dream, maybe. I mean, you know, so it's maybe more immediate. But I think there's a relationship. I'm not sure what it is because I'm driving. But I think there's a relationship. It's like the things that something or other, your bliss. What?
Chase your bliss.
Get it going. Follow your bliss.
Follow your bliss. For a long time, I've thought of that as like a game show. Like,
follow your
chase
bliss.
that bliss.
Right.
And it's just like, you send the contestant out for like 2 calendar years to pursue their passions or something. And then they come back on the show and it's
now
like,
when you said that, I'm channeling Kermit the Frog in the movie where he's encountering this kind of evil guy with a hopper. And I'm thinking it's related to the recent election when he says, you know, I like to bring like joy to people and do nice things and so on, and you just want to like kill everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, like what is your dream, Hopper? You remember this scene? It's like a showdown. Okay, all right. Little paternal disappointment here. All right. Let me stop that.
Yeah, I'm immune to your paternalism.
Thank you. Thanks for ignoring me. I read my mom part of my still developing
my
work. Yeah, working title, My AI. And they said again, which they've said before, I don't like AI. AI is not for me. It's too technical. I don't know. I'm still going to try to live that dream. I'm hoping to. I'm continue. I have about 40 pages.
Mm-hmm.
It just, if it gets a hold of you, you probably agree with this as a creator. The thing grabs you. It's like that's what you live for.
I know.
What was I going to say? Oh, monetization of art. Like
see, that's
making the living.
There's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come.
As it were.
As it were, as the bard put it.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, this is what I'm thinking about lately. Not only for like you and Noah, or your sibling, but also even myself. Dare to dream. So it's not just living the dream. It's like daring to dream.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I mean, you want to say like a dream should be difficult to achieve. Otherwise, does it deserve the capital D dream label? If your dream is to become a CPA and you're already an accountant and you just have to take the test, which is going to be a snap for you. I mean, is that a dream?
Here's the thing.
Can people dream of being a CPA?
Yeah, if your dream is to be a CPA, you're already living in the Matrix. I'm sorry, you're in a coma. Like that, I know exactly one CPA, and his dream is to be a writer, and he self-published a novel recently.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, self-publishing, though, that's tough.
Christopher Wigglesworth.
Oh, you're kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh my God, you just outed him in so many ways.
I want people to buy his book. Oh, you were saying that dreams have to be hard to be dreams.
Right.
I disagree with that. I think...
Good.
I think it can be your dream even if it's easy. And, it might still be work, but you were talking about, when you're in it with a book or a piece of writing, and when you're in it with, even reading, or if you're in it with, making something, you may be in a somewhat altered state of mind because you're in the creative space.
You're in the groove.
You're in the flow, and you're, or even when you're reading, you're in an altered mind state. It's hard to pull yourself out of that to listen to whatever somebody's about to say to you, whatever, if you're in that. I think that if your dream is to feel like that a lot, that might not be hard.
Right.
It might be hard to make a living doing that, but I think that's a larger society thing, that you are expected to make a living doing whatever it is you spend your time doing, which is there are lots of people who don't need to worry about making a living because they're wealthy or whatever, and a lot of whoa, what just happened?
That was a near accident, I think.
Live on television.
And now we have vindictiveness.
And now the traffic jam.
Right. The aftermath. Just take out the crossbow.
Yeah.
Your grace.
Love this. Okay.
Well, we're at our redacted destination.
Yeah.
So I guess we have to wind this up. And any final word? No pressure. Just pull it all together now, if you would.
I think if you can eke any happiness, joy, fulfillment out of your life, you should, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others. And I love you.
I love you too. You do you.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
All right. This ride itself.
Okay.
I dare say. All right. I'm going to stop it now.
All right.
Signing
I love
off. I love you too.